Oh, I know why. I have to actually change my Wi-Fi when I come here to campus. That's the difference. Okay. Okay, now I have a stable connection again. Okie dokie. Too hard to do. Okay, so welcome this morning. I know it's already May 25th. Just FYI today, it's a very emotional day. Today's my mother's birthday. So if you see me, just leave me be. That's all I'm asking, because it's really hard. And I just don't know when it's going to happen. So I'm going to move on from that, though. So anyway, I can't believe it's Memorial Day weekend this weekend already, right? It's just, time has flown this year. And I want to just take a moment to introduce Joe Asmar, a new agent in our office. Joe actually used to work at Weichert Insurance back in a few years ago. So he's familiar with Weichert, and we're happy to have him aboard. I think he's going to be a great addition to our office. And he's already had some, yesterday we had he came to our his first new agent training. And, you know, it's so funny. One of the things we don't realize is, as a new agent, all the things they don't know, right? So that yesterday's was about open houses. And when someone joins and then they shadow an open house with an agent or two or three, that agent usually does all of the groundwork for them, right? They put out the signs, they have all the materials, they do all that. So what happens is an agent goes to open house for the first time. We're like, okay, you're ready. I feel comfortable. I'm ready to go to open house. They go, they don't bring any signs. They don't bring any materials. They don't bring anything. So when I first realized that, I'm like, there's a lot that, you know, there's so much agents have to know getting into the business. So with that, we learned a lot from an agent who last week had one of his first open houses and got stuck in traffic, came here. And I said, you know, David, you didn't have to come here to get balloons for a West Orange open house. You could have went to West Orange and got balloons and not Weichert. So all these little things, right, that people just don't know, or agents just don't know as they're starting out. But it's a good reminder for all of us. Well, I said on Friday, Thursday or Friday, you need to either stop in if you're going to go visit the house, which you should with the agent anyway, or call them and ask them, how do you access your office, and they'll give you the code or whatever it is that you need. So you just have to be proactive. You can't wait till Sunday morning, run over there, you know, and necessarily expect that to be waiting for you, you know, someone to be waiting for yourself. So anyway, so again, it's just these little things that we do every day that we think everybody knows, right? And so that's what's good about the trainings, and it's a good refresher for agents as well. So same thing I've been saying all year long, small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. So everybody you see who's doing very well this year in real estate and has success in this market has been doing consistent habits every single day, right? And that's how they got to where they are today. So just a reminder to put those consistent habits into your lifestyle, stuff that you love to do, right? Always remember it's stuff that you love to do. So our numbers for the week, just to give you an idea, 73 is our monthly revenue unit goal. We have 46 right now, which is really good considering the market, right? Usually we're trying to get our goal or more each year, but this year is a little bit more challenging for every office, for every brokerage, right? Consistently. So just to keep you up to date with our numbers, and we have until next Tuesday to hand in your transactions, right? So any transactions you have, sales on your listings, any of that paperwork, please hand it in to Silvana. And please, guys, just do me a favor. She's not sitting here right now because she's at the front desk because someone did not show up this morning. And, you know, I can't know 1 minute of 9 that you can't make it on a meeting morning. But that's another story. So she's sitting out there so that if someone walks in our office is open. Otherwise, we have to close it down basically, right? Because none of us are there. But, oh, I'm not sharing my screen again. Thank you. Yeah, so just a reminder that, no, I can't. Why can't I figure out how to do it? Why is everything so difficult? So just a reminder, you know, and this is as far as Silvana goes. Silvana, when you ask for something, and can anybody here tell me that Silvana has not gotten them what they needed in a timely manner ever in their lifetime? Okay, no. So she consistently asks people for stuff and asks people for stuff and asks people for stuff. And then she sends it to me and says they're not responding to me, which I think is very disrespectful. I feel like that's more disrespectful than you not answering me. Like literally because she's so on top of things. So, I don't know, won't let me share a screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. So just a reminder, you know, we want to keep her here as long as we can. I want to keep her here as long as we can. So make sure, you know, that you, if she asks you for something or she reaches out to you, please respond to her. She deserves that minimally. So I just wanted to share with you. So we've been doing a lot of talking about the letter writing, hand letter writing in the past few weeks. We did a campaign a few weeks ago. A few people showed up. I've been sitting with some people one-on-one, going over some handwriting campaign. I can get you your list of pure gold, okay, buyer side transactions, because those are people who you've sold homes to and that could possibly be looking to sell in the near future, right? Maybe they don't know what's going on in the market. So I can sit with you and go through your pure gold and give you a list so you can do that. What we're asking you is to put together a letter and then handwrite the envelopes and handwrite your address, right? So that people actually open it. So there's been a lot of success in offices for doing this, and this specific office has 17 listings to date from doing handwritten letters. Okay, just so you know. Exactly. So pure gold is huge right now, especially for the agents who have, you know, have been in the business a long time. You have the opportunity to go through your pure gold list. And I can get that to you. And for new agents, you can just, you know, we can get you lists in farming areas, or maybe you have a buyer looking in a certain area, right? There's a lot of different ways we can do it, but make sure you're doing this because there's a lot of success to be done with these handwritten notes right now. Okay, we have to think outside the box right now. Yeah, Barbara. Yes, there is. Yes. Thank you. And I can give it to you in an Excel spreadsheet as well. Someone had mentioned last time that not all of their people were in there. So I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Oh, Catherine did. Yeah. I'm not sure why that is. It should be everybody, but. She did something else wrong. So just a quick question for anyone, because I want to make it more interactive, the meeting, right? What is your top tip for breaking into a new hyper-local market? So anybody here who wants to break into a community, a townhome, or, you know, condo community, a specific neighborhood, is there anything that you've done recently to help you get into that neighborhood? Letters. Are you handwriting the envelope? Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. When you really have a buyer looking in that neighborhood. That's It does, it does. Or if the people aren't ready, maybe they put your letter in their, you know, in their office waiting for that time. You just never know. Yep. Because you're more specific to who you mail to, yes. And then recently too, one of our agents bought a house in Morris Township, and right afterwards, because they bought, their house was listed with Ryan Dawson. Ryan Dawson sent a letter to each one of those. I have it in my office. Every time I brought it here to show you, I keep forgetting, but it's just, you know, that it's sold and we're not, you know, what, how many offers or what the list price is over. Maybe you don't know how many offers because you weren't the listing agent, but you still know once it closes how much it went over, right? And that's something people want to know. And you can market that even if you didn't sell the property, right? You have opportunity to market any listing that's in the MLS. So again, just make sure, you know, that you're thinking outside the box. It's a different markets. We always have to pivot and change and do things differently as the market changes. So here's some hyper-local prospecting ideas using CoRealty resource. And just also, we did have the Remind Pro training this week. Everybody knows what Remind is at this point. So Remind Pro, the reason why I was so interested in taking that class, and I'm going to send you out the recording because they did send me the recording yesterday. So I will send you out the recording for the class. GSMLS does have Remind Pro as well. Okay, we were sort of wondering if that was the case when I first introduced it, but both have Remind Pro, and NJMLS and GSMLS. So it's the same one, but it shared with us how to target certain neighborhoods and how to get a full list of those neighborhoods versus us going in the search bar and putting one person in like we were doing. So they really have a lot of great resources and they're building on them as well. Okay, so we had that training on Monday. And I did get the recording for that, so I'll help you. But CoRealty resource, Laura did the training again on Monday as well. And I know not all the information is correct, but if you're going to do a mailing list, you will have a proper mailing list, okay? And again, you can do the mailing list on Remind as well. You can do it to property owners, you can do it absentee owners. They have different ways for you to target different people or homeowners or, you know, renters or whatever it is that you're looking for. Very nice. So she said you could take addresses you already have, pull them into the what is that called? The Retriever tab, and it'll find information for those people. So if you already have a list of people, you can pull it in there. Instead of searching for a list on there, you can pull up a list that you already have, and it will bring up their phone numbers and email addresses if it has it on VIN. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? He said the NJACB, New Jersey ACB.org, he said he thinks they're taking it down at the end of the year. It says there's a message on that's going to be taken down. I know it is terrible. Oh, I thought it was public information, but yeah, that's what I'd say. I guess we'll have to see, or they're going to change it somehow. Maybe a subscription or something where people have to pay versus getting it free. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll look into that though. But I noticed also on Remind, when you pull up a property on the top left right-hand corner, it does have the square footage now as well on certain homes. So I guess, you know, it must be pulling it from there. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I used to go in and put the square footage on each house just to show for those analytical sellers that want to know, well, how big is that house or how much? I would have all that information there. So I loved NJACB. So I'll look into that more and see what's going on. But this is just a guide to show you how to create a mailing list through Prospect IQ, okay? And you can do a radius search. And once you do the radius search, it also tells you how long people have been in their house. It gives you a lot more information, what they paid for it. So, and all in one line. So it's really easy to read. So this again is for creating a mailing list on Cole Realty Resource. And did you say Cole Realty is in a different place now or easier to access? Very good. So here's all the listing information to create a letter campaign for prospecting sellers. Like we said, use a 17-year cycle, your profile picture. As you can see, I provided you some new marketing materials that White Girts rolled out, which I'll go over to in a little while. Your QR code is always important to have on these days. Everybody's using QR codes, office information, equal opportunity icon, and non-soliciting for your listing disclaimer. Okay, make sure you have that on all of your marketing materials. And this is a follow-up call dialogue. Once you've either sent it out or handed it to someone at open house, here's a dialogue for you. So I just wanted to share this with you so that you have it. I know we went through it a few times. So don't just plan an open house every month. They're providing you with an open house experience to create at your open house each month. So this month, June, coming up is cast a welcoming glow at a Twilight open house. Create more opportunity for yourself and a unique experience for visitors. Welcome your visitors home after work. Greet them outside with a mocktail. Drive more traffic with Instagram, and weeknights have less competition, right? There's not as many people doing weekend Twilight open houses. And I was saying that to new agents yesterday. If you want more opportunities in open houses, find open homes that are vacant, you know, that you can sit during the week. And, you know, like a perfect example, and I don't know if this one is vacant, but I know that they do one open houses, is Kim's Memory Lane, 2 Memory Lane in Randolph. That's a perfect spot for after school because it's right on West Hanover Avenue. It's right by a preschool. It's right down the street from Shangam School, right? That's a perfect opportunity to do an afternoon one or a twilight one when people are coming home from work. So again, there's great opportunities out there for you to do things. If you're busy on the weekend, do one during the week or 2 during the week. You know, I'll help give you ideas of which open houses are available to do that. So, you know, that's where most of our agents get their business consistently, especially the, you know, the top agents. That's why they continually do open houses. They don't stop it once they get to a certain point. So join our open house tips and training webinar Tuesday, June 7th at 1 o'clock. And they'll give you tips and ideas on how to promote your Twilight open house to the right buyers, tips to stage the summer event, and engage visitors with unique information and experiences. So I'll send that webinar out that day. So some office updates. So I want to give a special congratulations. I wish they were here today. They were trying to make it, but they had something going on because they have someone who's sick in their family. But this is really, really amazing. Mara is number 18 in the company out of 7,000 agents. 18 as an individual agent in the company. It's pretty amazing, right? So if you see her, congratulate her. It's pretty awesome. She works her butt off, as everybody knows. I know you all work your butt off. I know you do. But, you know, her consistency year after year has gotten her to where she is today, and she continues to grow. So I think that is pretty amazing. And some office news and events. So Monday is Memorial Day. The office will be closed. Laura and I are both out this Friday, just so you know. So, but Silvana will be here. Silvana will be here Friday, and Monday the office is closed. Please get all your deals in by Tuesday, May 31st for the end of the month. And I wanted to give you a reminder. Someone had mentioned this recently at the front desk. When you sit at the front desk or any of the shared computers, when you download contracts and all that information of your client onto the computer, remember to go back before you leave and delete it, right? Because you're leaving a footprint of your client's personal information on the computers. which I know you don't even realize, right? You're downloading it, sending it off, rushing around. Just make sure anything that you download onto the computers, especially personal information of someone, that you're deleting it when you're done. And make sure to log out. All of them, that's what I meant. Yeah, no. Any shared computer in the office. Yeah, any shared computer in the office. And also make sure you're logging out of the computers. I mean, that's something we always, because everybody, anytime someone sits at a computer, there's usually someone else logged in. So again, just a reminder that you don't want people to be accessing your private information or your client's private information. And then, gosh, yesterday I was at a manager's meeting, and it wasn't a typical manager's meeting. It was a meeting designed to find out, get feedback and support on how the company can move forward in the future. Okay, so there was they're doing three of these meetings, 2 regions each meeting, and ours was the only one that Jim Weichert actually sat there. And it was a very, I want to say, emotional, because we all were very upfront with frustrations and things that we have in regards mostly to our agents, right? So we brought up a lot of things. And Aram is the one who headed the meeting, and he's taking control of changing the corporation and just a lot of things that we've done in the past and how can we change in the future, right? So, you know, I'm always interested in people's feedback, right? I always take it to them, and I'm hoping to be one of the ambassadors on this team so that I can, again, assist with them moving forward in the future, but also take back any feedback that you guys have. And so some of the things that I think you'll be excited about, and these were long-term ones, right? It's not, they're short-term problems that we can solve right away or that they can solve, and then there's long-term ones. And one of the long-term ones that they're looking into is more competitive commission plan and the 199. Okay, so that's something that all of the managers brought up, and it wasn't just in our region, in other regions. So that's something that was huge. Also, just so you know, they did share with us yesterday that they're going to be changing from DocuSign to SkySlope. So DocuSign did not roll out very easily in a lot of regions. And the reason why is because DocuSign is just an e-signature platform. SkySlope is more like a dotloop, for those of you who are familiar with dotloop, where it's a transaction management system and an e-signature platform in one. So it holds your files. It's a virtual file cabinet with all of your documents, and it's user-friendly, and they can do more with it. So that's going to be rolled out by the end of the year. So just continue to use DocuSign as it goes. And again, I know we don't like change. We all just learned DocuSign. We all just got signed up. I know it's going to be difficult, but SkySlope is coming in by the end of the year. So they're implementing all of that. And what's that going to mean? It means that we're going to then be a paperless office when SkySlope comes in. Okay, we're not going to be a paperless office. Everything's going to be, all your transactions are going to be sent from SkySlope to Silvana for review. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're way behind on paperless, being a paperless office or company for sure. I rolled out Remax paperless in like 2015, just to get an idea, like how long ago. So we were very behind in paperless, and it'll make it more streamlined for everybody. Because again, you'll have your virtual file cabinets, and you'll have all your transactions, and you'll be able to go in there on your phone wherever you are, and Silvana will just send things back if it's not complete, and you have to complete it and then get it back to her. Well, yes and no. Yes, we have to, because if the real estate commission, I believe, comes in, because we still did have file cabinets even though we were there. Of course. No, that's not going to go away. That has, yeah, one has nothing to do with the other. Yeah. And listen, if you are a person who says, I have to sit in front with somebody because you've been in the business so long and have them sign an ink because that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then you have to upload it all into SkySlope, and then you send it over to Silvana. That's how it works. Or she'll assist you because you know how she is. She's already like, I'm just going to take over all the exclusive listings right now in GSM Plus. She's like, I'm just going to do it. So again, I just want to give you a heads up. It's not coming for, you know, a few months now or by the end of the year, but
is somebody in training?
They will be. Yes, yes. Silvana will. Listen. Yeah, don't be scared because we are in such great hands with Silvana. And I don't know if you realize this, but when I sit at my manager's meeting, they are all miserable with their processors. They are miserable. Or they're always having to hire a new one, or there doesn't do anything. Like I'm like, really? Like I can't even imagine my world without Silvana. Like it's so funny. Get you? Yeah. So yeah, she will be trained. She'll probably be training other processors. Is I guess what I was going to follow up with, because that's, you know, they do highly regard Silvana in our company at what she does. Yeah. 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 You know how to, oh yeah, 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 yeah. So I wanted to share something with you. You know, my response to the meeting yesterday when Carla asked, well, how is everybody feeling? Because they really brought, Aram really put together a great presentation of moving forward and things, you know, and how we're going to change in so many ways. And so, you know, a few managers spoke and I just said, listen, if I was sitting here as a recruit, because I don't know how else to verbalize what I'm trying to say, in a company, I came to sit here and it was a new company, it was brand new, and I, you know, I was open to what they were saying. I would be so excited of all the things that you share. Like I would say, this is where I want to be. This is the company I want to align myself with. But then I have to step back a minute and say, no, I'm here. And in 2 months, is this not going to be around anymore, right? Because that's some of the stuff that we've had in the past where things are rolled out, you know, it's excited, and then we don't, it sort of disappears. And, you know, basically, that's why they've changed. They put Aaron in this position because he moved our mobility company, our relocation company, to top 3 in the United States. And so now he's moved on to this project of helping the residential real estate sector. So, you know, they really have faith in him. And at the end, you know, like I said, Jim was there and we all spoke openly and honestly to what we were feeling. And at the end, he stood up and he said, I'm embarrassed. I'm honestly embarrassed because a lot of these things I should have taken care of 2 years ago. Like it shouldn't have waited this long. So he was actually very humble, and he actually heard everything we said. And he even walked over to Jen Love. Everybody know Jen Love here? She's the manager of Westfield. I mean, she's a sweetheart. Her daughter is, and I guess a young adult now. I think she turned 17 or 18 by now. And she's severely autistic, nonverbal, non-potty trained. And so she has a lot of challenges in her life, and she's a manager with always, always, always a positive attitude if you've met her. She's really an amazing person in so many ways. And she had said at one point that, you know, that coming to the office and working with the agents was one of the things that she loved, right? Because at home, her home life is so challenging that the office life is what she lived for every day. And in the past year or so, she doesn't feel that way anymore. She has a lot of anxiety, a lot of things, you know, just because we're on meetings from 8:45 to 10 every single morning. We have a lot of things that were pushed on us, a lot of reports, and so she had mentioned this morning that he had actually walked up to her at the end and said, I am so sorry that you feel this way, and I apologize, and I should have taken care of things a lot earlier. So again, I feel positive, you know, we'll see what happens, but I just like to share with you everything that happens, regardless of it's good, bad, or evil. And I feel like you guys need to be part of it because you really run Weichert Realtors. If it wasn't for all of you, none of us would be here. There wouldn't be a commissions department. There wouldn't be a Missy or Silvana or a Laura, right? So you guys are really what drives this company. And so you guys need to be in the know of what we're doing on a daily basis to try to make things better. And that the president and CEO and founder of the company is still a big part of, you know, what we do on a daily basis. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you for letting me just say that. So anyway, there's new marketing materials out. I shared with you. So this is an exclusive marketing piece. See it first. And so this is for if you're going to put an exclusive out. There's door hangers for it. Postcards. A home in your neighborhood is for sale and available to Weichert clients first. So they put together a whole new marketing campaign with the See It First thing. And that's going to be, I believe, I think they said they already have it on My Weichert, I guess, to send out as an email, right? And it's going to be on the Design Center shortly. So these are all the different ones for See It First. Campaign. Of course, the 17-year cycle. I actually called I was calling the agents, and I called an agent, I guess they were from Remax and Montville, and we're having a nice conversation. And she said something about the 13-year cycle. Did I hear about the 13-year cycle? And so I feel like a lot of things we put out there, they're hearing. Like, I don't know that we've made this up, but we are the ones promoting it more than anybody else. So they're hearing things. They don't know all the information, but they're trying to grab onto things that we already have. So, you know, I took that as a compliment that she was, even though she didn't get it right, that she knew about our, you know, things that we're marketing out there. The sell now and later, and the We Do It All guarantee for the sellers too, which is a good thing for to put out at your open houses, right? Open houses or have on a listing appointment. So that's great marketing material. So again, I just wanted to share that with you. The buyer's file. Does everybody remember what the buyer's file was? And I meant to have it ready for this morning, and I don't know what happened. I don't know, my brain just, I was distracted. Thank you, Lori. So the buyer's file is simply a file with 3 or 4 listings in a neighborhood that have gone over asking. So when you sit with a buyer who's looking in a certain neighborhood, you say, I just want to share with you what the houses are going for. And this is ahead of time to set up the expectations. Because telling, oh my God, the homes are going over asking, it's not as impactful as visual. A lot of people are visual, right? They see it in real life on a listing. They're like, oh my God. But when you're saying it over and over again, oh, this is a busy market. Oh, this is a seller's market. I don't know how much of that resonates with the buyer. So it's about actually being visual and showing them what's going on. So having a buyer's file if you're going out, or if you're at an open house, right? And having it sitting there, maybe someone asks you what it is, or sharing it with them, what the houses are going for over asking. Because he had, I think Carlo had shared like 3 or 4 houses in Morris Township, and they all went like $100,000 or over. I mean, literally the ones he was sharing. So again, it's very important for people to know, right? Because maybe are they hearing the market starting to soften? Maybe are they hearing all these things that we've been talking about that isn't actually happened yet, right? So you want to make sure that they're aware. That's what your job is, to make sure that they know exactly, educate them, and keep them up to date with what's going on in the market. So some upcoming office trainings. Next Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, we'll be negotiating for buyers. I'm going over the sales contract, so I'll be doing that with the new agents. And the following Monday, what did I say? Oh, I thought it said something. I thought I put something wrong. And then Monday, June 6th, the following Monday, I'm going to be doing Forms Online training and DocuSign. Because I know a lot of people like to see that over and over and over again. So again, that's for everybody. And then a new date for our happy hour, if hopefully the numbers of COVID go down and don't continue to go up, is Tuesday, June 14th from 4 to 6. Yeah, we're going to be changing. We may be changing venues because again, there's a problem with the outside, and so we're looking at outdoor spaces. Yeah, like a ridiculous amount of money. I like Tiff's. I think I mentioned Tiff's to her. We've been there before, and they have an outdoor space, and it's just. Yeah, and regardless of how many, that's their minimum. That's their minimum, regardless of who's there or how many people. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted, but keep the date open for Tuesday, June 14th. That'll be here before you know it. Everything goes so quickly. So Anthony, you want to give us an update of what's going on?
Retail sales came in higher than expected last week, indicating that consumer spending is holding up well in the face of inflation. Housing starts and existing home sales are lower, but the market continues to slow. Though multi-family housing starts should rates though, rates continue to ease in the past. After effects of Fed raising rates continue to carry off. It's not unusual for the markets to overreact. They always overreact leading up to those announcements. We do have another Fed meeting likely 0.5% in June. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a better idea as far as how that starts to back out. This week, we'll feature new home sales and home sales, global plates, and the vision of measure economic growth. You see, regular rates are trickling down in the 5.6, 5.5 range over the last few weeks. So that's good news. Talked about this before too as well. So whenever you're writing up a contract, try not to put it for the last day or two of the month. That's the busiest time for all the rendering and the actions. Everybody wants to close their pay plans out for the month. So rather than having to go up on the 30th month, on Friday or week, stuff like that, especially right before, right after like holiday weekend, always gets kind of dicey. I always get those kind of things. It's like, hey, it's Memorial Day on Monday. Can we close Tuesday morning? Well, a lot of people are off on Friday before. Everything's got to be done this week in advance. So just keep that in mind.
You had a great experience up until then, and now the closing becomes now the last thing they're going to remember is the closing. So again, for your sake, right, to create a great experience, you want it to be a date that's going to be, easier for the attorneys too. If they have 10 closings on Friday before Memorial Day weekend and they're rushing you and things are getting there last minute and numbers are wrong, it becomes a nightmare.
It does. I would say this one. So based on if you're doing like an end of April offer, you might be writing up the contract at the end of May. I just think, when we put that contract together in the car, we can always kind of because my issue, my commitment letter is the first thing I ask is, are we doing this? Is there any concessions that need to be worried about? Any inspection issues that maybe I'm not privy to? Keep in mind, I'm not always working or seeing all exactly all the time. Sometimes I work with brand X agents or personal referrals. They work differently than we all do or not have a relationship. I'm always going out there trying to get information. I'm not reactive. Oh no, we moved that date out a month ago. I'm like, no one told me we want to parade. That's a problem. But it's tough because if you think about it, right? Like, hey, we're closing on Friday. Friday is a half a day holiday or something like that. That's like a national holiday because it's icy. Everything's just fun. Deals that were supposed to close on Tuesday or Wednesday got pushed into Thursday or Friday. And now we're trying to hey, can we slide ours into as well? It's all about man. So it's just about who has to jockey around and be at a closing people. Walk through issues. Open houses. Remember, I'm kind of reaching out to everybody that's doing open houses, to letting them know their flyers are on their mailbox. Let me know if you're doing them. Some folks I'm not hearing back from. I'm emailing or texting, going, hey, listen, are you doing an open house? I understand you maybe. I don't hear back on it, so I don't really a lot of times. And I'm putting them in the mailbox. I'm seeing kind of there with the open house stuff, using the app, getting involved, having me call and vet out any pre-approvals that you may be getting on listings. Huge. I've been doing a lot of that lately, helping you guys make educated decisions on offers, and that's always a great feeling. So you guys know what the best option is going in. But it's still tough out there. We talk about this week in, week out, looking for this kind of slowdown. Buyers are still getting smoked on deals, multiple offers. It's crazy. 10 offers still in the house. Your buyer is extremely aggressive, being really, really, really high and waiting so much. They're still at the bottom of the pack. So there's still aggressive buyers out there, no matter what that market is, especially if it's a certain price. Question. How much of the down payment is needed to avoid mortgage insurance and conventional loan?
So that's easy.
A 10%, B 30%, C 25%, or D 10%. That's really
too easy. That was too easy.
It was like an underhand song. All the fun. 19 anything different since last week. I'm not really seeing too much necessarily in a non-competitive situation. Some houses, depending on condition, they're getting an offer or two. So we are seeing that in some stuff, but I think it just all depends. I had a buyer who we walk on a deal that they were under contract on. Someone else came up. That just didn't matter. So they decided to walk on. So we're still seeing that, very aggressive.
Yeah. So it's because you're taking a risk by walking away from the market. Is this somebody who's skating the boat or rich?
It's funny. This specific person did it. You came in, they were just navigating some inspection stuff. I think they were trying to push really hard for something that, they encourage different options. You can just kind of push that seller, see what they want to do. And the seller kind of countered and was like, hey, when we meet in the middle, they just go like that. Or something happened just to come up at that point. They're like, let's see if they'll win that one. I haven't heard you. You got to be careful of that too as well. Right. And most people would think, but I have a feeling these questions.
Yeah, I had already.
Yeah, most people.
Let me ask you a question. I heard from an agent that their client was working with the bank. I think it was like 90%. The appraisal came in. The house was they were paying $850. Okay, the house appraised for $700. I think, which the agent was like, I told you not to use it, blah blah blah. And it has this conversation with the buyer to say, do not use it back. This is what's going to happen. So what do? They go to PNC. Because you know how everybody listens to us so well. So PNC goes out, they appraise it for $865. $165 difference. Could that be? I mean, I know it's a matter of opinion, but I've never seen that drastic of a difference in appraisals.
I'm going to give you an opinion, right? So by definition, an appraisal is an opinion about it.
Right.
I don't know if the sample of comps that were done 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month before that appraisal were done may have not caught up or been there. Maybe 1 or 2 sales popped at that point to justify an 850, 860 value. I mean, it seems really extreme. It's not like we're chasing 20, 30 grand and that new comp popped up and we got it day one because of that. Could have a bad appraisal. He might have looked at the overall scope of everything and he might use like a foreclosure or something like that, which you can't really do. But again, it always comes down to, I don't want to say me, right, or the loan officer, but did he go free? Did they willing to review the appraisal? Did they request a second appraisal to be done to justify that low value? That's kind of more of a process. I are challenged that way, and we can kind of go head to head, reach out to the AMC. Yeah.
Buyer, we represented the seller, so we're booked by her, and the buyer's agent is also one. And it was for a fire department type of like a map club. Sure. And it was all everything was fun. Everything was Whitebird, and buyers using Whitebird mortgage. Sure. It did not appraise. Asked for a second. They sent the same guy. They sent the same guy, and he said, "No, it's the same."
What he's going to say? No, I made a mistake.
So I don't know how they would order. Not feel the different results at that point. The only thing I can think is that they go back to him to either have to clarify or confirm or anything like that. That he was like, "No, I'm sticking with my guns." I don't know if that happened. Did anybody not really go get a second appraisal at that point? So I really don't know the answer. Because like I said, more of the timeline, how that looks when you're disputing an appraisal, you get a value, everybody disagrees. Listing in line, agent maybe agree that the appraisal is not good. A lot of times the listing agent's like, "Oh no, this comp stinks," or whatever the deal is. They get us a better sample that maybe wasn't used by the appraiser. Because if you look at every appraisal, typically, if you look way in the back, I think you guys look at them much, but one of the very last pages is something called a farm report. What that is like a sample of all the comps they use to drill down to the 3 to 6 that are on the report. So it's not like, hey, I just picked these 3 and we're making them work with that. Well, I exhausted these last 25.
And that it was the square footage.
The accountant was on?
He mentioned the square footage. And understand, it's a garden farm. It's all the same. He measured it, and this is different than the measurement on the others. He didn't trust, but he was still copying from the others. So he was saying it just didn't make it lowering it.
He's on the square footage. He was taking away from it. Yeah. But he adjusted back. He adjusted down for square footage.
Which makes sense. But again, like sorry, but I mean, right. So
I think they're scarred for life. I think you guys are scarred for life. I think we both need a massage today.
So to finish what I was saying on that, I have a question where you need something like, hey, the square footage off by 100 square feet. That makes up $6,000 or $7,000. I think pulling up the tax record, pulling up some more comps, checking and seeing what's going on, and then going back to the management of the appraiser, you're like, look at these last 5 sold in the last year. They're the same. Again, I don't know.
It was all Whitebird. Whitebird basically fired the appraiser.
And sometimes that does happen, unfortunately, if the appraiser doesn't do a good job and is not willing to engage with us or the management company, we do cut them off. I've had that happen with me too as well. Unfortunately, appraiser independence, just like you guys are, they can form their own opinion on what we want. We're requesting them only to engage and give us justification. And there's been times, unfortunately, when we get an appraisal back, we disagree with what we're saying, because now we've evaluated based on comps and stuff. And if he's sticking with his guns going now, and we disagree, we'll then take our own position saying, we think it's bad work, Mr. Buyer, we're going to pay for an independent second appraisal. Guy. If I was involved, would I have a better idea what's going on?
Yeah.
Business that has a story like that. So the appraiser typically has to show where he got his data from, or the comps that he's drilling down on and finding out which one's the best. There are never appraisal at that point. So a lot of times when we're refollowing up, they typically want to say, all right, if it comes to you think that's great, why are you using the data in the report? These comps are maybe 4 or 5 miles away that you're chasing a number on. It's in a corner of a neighboring town or maybe better or whatever it may be. You know, everything has to be justified. So, depends on the market, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think it's going to freeze, but let's slow play it a little bit. We got 60 days to close. There's a comp closing on the 26th that we really need to make it work. All right, you schedule for the 30th. So it's you call home agent, give the agent, are you definitely closing on those dates?
I have agents in the office who torture other agents. You didn't mark your deal yet. You didn't mark your deal yet. They call me, call their manager. They didn't mark their deal yet. Like that's how much they're on top of, you know, when they know something sold and it's sold for over, and they need that. Then they need that comp. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. They're always going to start in the closest proximity regardless of the house, right? So when it is, let's say we have a split in the block, right? At the end of the day, they're not going to chase the eye level. They're not going to try to look at that eye level that's 2.5 miles, right? To justify how they'd rather go to the property around the corner and make the adjustments up or down, justify that. They don't want to chase that in 2 miles. Just kind of like that. They might bracket it and use that number 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. They want to work closest proximity out. I heard that right. I mean, I've seen a lot. And I really look at it too much, but it's in there with the back.
The local market absorption rate. So last week, I guess from the week before, right, we saw the amount of listings go up about 20%. Not only in towns, but in Morris County in a whole, right? It went from 500 to 800 active listings. And in a lot of these towns here, we saw a 20% rise. And again, it depends. If it's 10, homes, you're not going to see that many homes coming on, right? Versus other towns. So I did update because I have to wait for them, MLS to update for the month before with the days on market and sold list prices. And most of them went up in the last month. As you can see, the numbers are really high. The days on market all went down a little bit. So those numbers have been updated. And again, Morris Plains 24 homes, that seems like a lot right now. Relatively speaking, it's all the new construction. Yeah, it's mostly new construction. You're absolutely right. It's very few resales, very few. Parsippany adjusted a little bit. I mean, look how many homes are active compared to how many homes are under contract in the past 30 days. More homes are under contract than are active. Randolph, that was one of the towns that went up about 20% last week. Rockaway has gone up, so you can see the numbers. Randolph has 108% list over sale, sale over list. So just crazy. Town 106, Montville 108, Madison 107, Morris Township 107. So these are the numbers your buyers need to see so that they really understand from the get-go, and not just you telling them, showing them, because visual, people are so visual. That's how they really are able to understand what's going on in the market. So new listings on the market. Mara has an exclusive coming up in Randolph, 3 Darlene Court. It's not great. You want to say this, it's not. So coming soon, Gloria has 455 River Road in East Hanover, 569, and 20 Cutter Drive in East Hanover for $699. And then new listings. Michael Owens and Priscilla have 24 Coventry Road in Mendham for $1.35. Oh, that's a gorgeous house. Catherine Mancino, a new agent in our office, who has been doing door hanging and sending letters out because she has 3 little kids at home from his class. So she has. So what she does is she puts them in a carriage and she goes door hanging and she writes letters and she does everything we tell her to do that she can do from within the confines of her home without leaving her kids on their own. And this is for one of her first new listings, she has a second new listing on. It's been on for about 2 months. So think about that. No sales experience, nothing at all. And has listings coming on. So 4 Ottawa Lane in Andover, 4685. Cheryl has 142 Merriam Ave in Newton, 500,000. Mary has 38 Troy Drive in Springfield. At least we got one full office on this one. Corey? Oh, we haven't said going. That was from last week. I know everything else while we're on this. Anyone else have any new listings coming soon? Exclusives on the horizon? Ben?
20,000 less, 550, 3,000.
Oh, good. Do you have someone sitting in the open house? I know you were looking for someone. Oh, if anybody wants to open house this weekend, it's not vacant now. So it will be this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, or okay, let Vin know. That's a good one to have. Anybody else have anything else coming on? Okay. Thank you guys. You guys are awfully quiet today. Oh yes, I forgot. Anyone who was doing office cleanup today? We have Rich has a dumpster for us for the shredding. So just anyone who wants to get rid of stuff, I'll be around. So I'll be around helping you get rid of stuff, bringing it over and doing all that stuff. By the mail room. Poor thing, you poor thing. What's going on here? You're the winner. You might want to share that for Delta back. She doesn't have any money. She's a family poor. Woohoo!